Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. In this video we're going to be talking through the two farms that I have set up behind me. They're pretty much just carbon copies of each other for use in harvesting dripstone, sugarcane, and or bamboo. There may be some other blocks that you can use for this farm. Pretty much you're going to do anything that will update create an update that an observer can observe and get broken by pistons. So these designs are pretty pretty tileable, pretty easily expanded. I currently have it running just off of one single observer, but you can have multiple observers to have it harvest more frequently. It really depends on your resources. This does use a lot of pistons. I really couldn't get around it, but you can expand as you get more and more iron. So if iron is something that's limiting for you in the game, you don't have to do something that is 29 blocks wide like this module here. You can do something that's just 5-10 blocks wide. And then as you get more iron, you can expand it and expand it and expand it. So let's go ahead and talk through how to make it. It is really quite simple. And I think I need an observer. So the way that this works is the dripstone underneath water will slowly grow, and when it grows, it changes its shape. We can see this right here. And the observer can actually detect that change in shape. And when the detector observes that change in shape, it will send off a signal. That signal will extend all the way down through the 14 or 15 block redstone signal strength length. I also have an observer facing up and sending its signal down to push a second set of pistons, because sometimes the dripstone can connect up with the floor, and instead of it dripping down, it will actually start to grow up from the bottom. So I did want to make sure to harvest that as well. Mud is the block of choice at the bottom here because items can actually fall through mud into hoppers, so it's an easy way to collect items. It's kind of messy right now because I don't have a glass front on it, but if I were building this in a base, I would have it with a glass front, or maybe build another module right here and have everything leading to the same collection point. As far as building this, let's just go ahead back here, and I will start with the mud. And I need a piston at the level of the mud, another spacer block, and then a piston. You could separate these by more vertical distance, but because I'm pretty much just waiting for one dripstone growth on this one, I don't really see a point in having it super tall, but it is important to note that the fewer observers you have, the more likely it is that some of these sections are going to be fully grown and therefore not producing anymore. So if you are using one observer, maybe extend this up a little bit. All that will require is more observers vertically to send the signal down. We then need a solid block behind each of the pistons, and you will want an observer on top of one of the topmost pistons looking forward. Then we're going to go ahead and build our water trough. So the water trough needs a dripstone block directly above where the observer is looking, so that way we can place our dripstone there. And we need to make sure to fully enclose that water. And naturally, you can bring this out as far horizontally as you want the farm to go. Let me get a water bucket. And I'm going to fill that up with an infinite water source, so this will slowly drip down. So you can actually extend this as far as you want horizontally. It is just important that you have at least one observer every 14 or so blocks. The signal that the observer will spit out will be a signal strength of 15, and so it can only travel 14 blocks before it fizzles out. That does mean that you could have one observer and 28 blocks, and then another observer and 28 blocks, and so on and so forth. But then as far as the redstone placement, you do want behind the observer, another observer looking up and sending its signal down. And then you're just going to want behind every piston a solid block with a redstone dust on it. And that's pretty much it. You can make it as pretty as you want, but this is the bare bones of the farm idea. So these dripstone will grow, and as soon as that goes to growth 2, it will harvest. You will put a hopper chain underneath the mud, and that's really it. So again, this is as expandable and tileable as you would like. You can also use the same kind of concepts for bamboo or sugarcane. The only difference is you want one block between the mud and your pistons, because you don't want the pistons to break that bottom layer of bamboo. And then you want your observer above the pistons. You could put the observer way up above, because bamboo can grow really tall, but this is kind of like the most compact version. As for sugarcane, you will again want the observer to be at this height here, because that's as high as bamboo can grow. Or not bamboo, sugarcane can grow. But it will work on the same principle of whenever the sugarcane gets to this height. Oops, wrong block. So let's say that grows up. Whenever the sugarcane gets to that height, it will harvest. Again, put a hopper chain underneath and you're good to go. The one thing to be aware of is sugarcane, as you all probably know, needs water sources. So I have some waterlogged stairs back here, because that is close enough to a water, or that counts as a water source for bamboo. You don't have to do it that way. You could put a water trough back there. You could have flowing water along the side if you wanted to. But yeah, really, really simple, beginner-friendly farms. I would really recommend doing the bamboo farm as early as possible, because of being able to craft up blocks of bamboo, being able to use bamboo for chests and all that sort of fun stuff. But yeah, that's really going to do it. It's a super simple farm, super beginner friendly. The iron is really the biggest limiting factor, a little bit of quartz for the observers, but you know, I'd recommend, if iron is a struggle, maybe building up an iron farm. Villager powered iron farms are super easy, super simple. There are tons of designs online. I think I might even have a design somewhere on my channel. But if you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments area below. And thanks for watching. Adios.